morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's innovaphone version 14r1 Launch Webinar. Before we start, I would like to introduce our team here. In the background, we have Carl Peddings, who is available for questions throughout the presentation and after the presentation. If you do have any questions, remarks, or whatsoever, please don't hesitate to write them in the chat window in your GoToWebinar user interface, and Carl will be happy to answer all of your questions. Next to me, I have Alexander Gehr, who is responsible for all sales activities in Brazil and in the UK. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us today. And then we also have Simon, who is the guy behind the cameras, who always makes sure that the whole technology is working properly. So we have the luxury to only sit down and talk, because without him, nothing would be working here today. So big thank you to you, Simon. And I would say that's it for the introduction. Let's dive right into some of the news and highlights of today's presentation. I'm just seeing that my clicker here doesn't work. Now it does. Thank you, Simon. Version 14r1 Launch Webinar. Some of the highlights that we will present today include newly developed applications from innovaphone, such as the Connect app, the Contact Widgets app, and other additional great new applications. On top of that, we will also present you some improvements, some new features and functionalities that we have developed within version 14r1. We also, unfortunately, have to say goodbye to some old software versions or components. And last but not least, we do have some really exciting additional highlights that are coming up this year for you to enjoy. Before I dive into more details and to start with the Connect app, I would like to also inform you that today we will give a quick teaser, I would call it, meaning that we will present a lot of news and highlights. Nevertheless, for those of you who are interested in more details and to dive deeper into some of the new apps or topics, we will also organize in the near future dedicated webinars for each new application. And before I start with the Connect app, I can also announce that my colleague Alex here will do a webinar about the details about the Connect app on March 18th. So please subscribe, register for this webinar in case you get excited and enthusiastic about the Connect app, which I will start with now. With innovaphone, we have decided to eliminate as much email internally as possible, because we believe that communicating via email is most of the time rather inefficient and can lead to not only confusion and unproductive procedures, but also we have thought about a much better and more efficient and more fun way to communicate with each other internally. And that's why we have developed the Connect app. So goodbye email, hello modern corporate communication. What is the Connect app? The Connect app is a social platform for the whole company. What can you do with the Connect app? You can exchange information internally with everyone of innovaphone. You can search for information. You can share knowledge with each other. You can interact. You can brainstorm and much more. But let me give you an example of, first of all, why we want to get rid of email and why we do believe that communicating with our Connect app is a much, much better solution. How are people communicating via email? Let's have a look at this example here. Carla is writing an email to Daniela, Max, and Julia asking who took the roll-up after the fair. Max is replying to Julia and Carla, I think Julia picked it up. Daniela is replying without having seen the email of Max because she was not on CC. When I left, was still on the booth. Julia is replying, I don't know where Max got that idea from, but I didn't take it. Carla is replying to all three of them, oh dear, it seems nobody has it. I'm afraid we might have lost it somewhere. So the consequences, they're probably going to buy a new roll-up. How does such a communication scenario look with our Connect app? Within our Connect app, Carla just posts something in the app, #fair, asking who took the roll-up after the fair. Daniela, who read the post in the Connect app, replies, when I left, it was still on the booth. Jacob, who has so far not been in the communication at all and previously in our email example was not even included in the email conversation, follows the #fair within our Connect app and therefore sees this post being shown on his personal feed and replies, hey, I dismantled the booth and I took it with me. It can be picked up at my desk. So as you can see, that was quite a simple but cool example of how more efficient communication can be without email. Another example is called, swarm intelligence or collective intelligence. What do I mean by that? Here you have a big group of people. Obviously, they all have our Connect app installed on their myApps client. And one of them is posting what's the best way to get to the event next week. He puts a hashtag on event. So everyone who has been following the hashtag event or everyone who's searching for a hashtag event can see this post. So whoever wants to help the poor guy out can reply. One of his colleagues is sending a PDF document with the directions to the event. Another colleague of his is posting, works well by train. There's a train station close by. And another one is telling him, hey, I'm driving anyway. Do you want me to pick you up somewhere? So again, this is a very nice example of how modern communication can be done much more productive and efficiently using our app called Connect. Last example, talking about transparency and integration. Here on the right-hand side, you see a sales meeting with all the members of the sales team. We have two of them missing. One is traveling, one is sick at home, laying in bed. And they post a protocol of the meeting and of the things they have discussed during their sales meeting. So they hashtag protocol, they hashtag meeting, they hashtag sales. And they write, we have decided to introduce a new time tracking tool for our department from the company XYZ, and will soon be ordering the licenses. Two of those people who have not been in the meeting obviously have access anytime they want to that content within the Connect app and can therefore retrieve that information on demand. Other people within the company who might have read the post or might follow certain hashtags here can jump in and contribute to this conversation by, for example, saying, hey, we have myApps from innovaphone. There's a great time tracking app called Working App, and we already have licenses for it. By the way, we will introduce also the latest features and optimizations regarding our Working App in a later stage of this presentation. And last the guy from the sales team replies, hey, thanks for the tip. We'll take a look at that. So again, you see the advantages that can be created by using an app like the Connect app instead of having to start or do a conversation via email. One more example regards of sharing information within the Connect app of innovaphone. And that is actually a real life example that I have seen a couple of weeks ago in our Connect app. That was actually from one of my sales colleagues from Spain who posted, hey, I just won a big hotel project in Spain with ABBA hotels. Hashtag hotel, hashtag reference, hashtag party of the week. Another guy who follows the hashtag references says, hey, cool. I always have the question about references. Another colleague says, hey, congrats to the one project. She's following the hashtag party of the week and she's just happy that the company is successful and that we have won a big deal. While another colleague who follows the hashtag references or the hashtag hotel says, hey, we already have a few hotel reference projects in Spain or in Italy, sorry. Maybe I can share those with you. So again, you see sharing this information within an app reaches everyone within the company. Therefore, you can create scenarios which are much more productive and efficient than via email communication. Other advantages that you have with the Connect app is that, for example, your employees are much more involved and integrated in your overall business, meaning they feel more valued and appreciated because they don't feel excluded maybe anymore. Someone from the sales department is also being informed about what's going on in the marketing department or the other way around. Or everyone within the company is informed about management decisions or why these decisions are being made, because everyone now has access to meeting protocols, to informations, to shared documents or whatsoever via this Connect app and can participate, can contribute, and therefore feels more integrated and valued. Other examples or other advantages of this Connect app include that there is a higher transparency within your corporation, and that higher transparency also creates higher productivity amongst the employees and amongst certain processes and procedures. And last but not least, I have personally experienced that by using the Connect app, it's also much more fun. Because of all these advantages mentioned before and all these examples given before, it's just really also a very fun tool to use and to interact with. And of course, everyone likes. Everyone appreciates likes. Feels good when you get a lot of likes on your post or on your comment. So of course, you can also like posts within the Connect app. Summarize it. What I just discussed and presented to you. myApps social platform called the Connect app enables your employees to retrieve information on demand, to be interactive, to share ideas, to carry out surveys and engage employees to participate in these surveys and therefore feel more valued. And of course, it never hurts in team building processes to have everyone on board. So, time to say goodbye to email and to start using our Connect app. How does that look in a live environment? Here you see a screenshot of our Connect app. I want to just point out three major areas here within that Connect app. On the upper left-hand side, you see various tabs called channel, called zones, hashtags, or where you can follow users, you can follow hashtags, you can follow certain channels. And if you do adjust those settings, you can have all these information that you specifically follow in your personal feed here on the left side. That personal feed includes people you follow, hashtags you follow, or if people like your posts, that will also be mentioned there. On the right-hand side, you have your general stream, where you have all the information that is being exchanged within the company, independently of if you follow a certain hashtag or not, to make sure that you really don't miss out on anything anymore, and therefore also be completely involved in your company's daily processes and interaction. Licensing. Big topic always. A lot of people probably want to ask, okay, what about licensing with the Connect app? As you know, with innovaphone, we value flexibility. And for us, it's important to also convey this flexibility to you as our partners and to you as our customers. Therefore, we enable you to buy, rent, or get the license out of the cloud. It's very simple. It's a user-based license, meaning you need one license per user. But of course, we also want to give you an incentive by trying out the app. And therefore, we have decided that you can download this app onto your myApps platform and try it out for free. The first 200 discussions are free of charge. So please make sure that you, right after our webinar, install the Connect app, download it, and start using it within your company to see how it looks and feels, and to introduce it to your employees to become more efficient and hopefully get rid of some useless, annoying emails. Price. You can rent a user license for €4 per month per user. You can also get it out of the cloud for €5.90 per month per user, or you can buy it for a one-time purchase price of €88 per user. Please don't forget to also include the SSA within the license, and that software service will cost you €13.20 per year per user. Again, I want to remind you that we are completely flexible. If you do have customers with existing innovaphone installations who have, for example, bought the licenses, you can also mix it by renting these licenses next to your purchase licenses, or the other way around. For us, it doesn't make a difference. If you, after 200 discussions, are still not convinced if this might be the right solution, you can still rent it for a couple of weeks, month, or whatever, to be more convinced. But personally, I'm quite sure that the 200 discussions will be enough for you to get really enthusiastic and excited about the Connect app. One more time, in case you missed it. Okay, that's it from my side for now. I will talk to you later. I will now give the control to my colleague Alex, who will introduce you another really exciting highlight and a new app of innovaphone.
Yeah. Yes, the contact widget app. Thank you, Tobias, so far. Yeah, it's actually, to be honest, all of you should know, or some of you might know also our old widget. So it's actually a revival of the widgets. Or in fact, actually all of you should know, because if you go on our website, for example, you actually can see here always on the side if you want to have some information. This is actually quite convenient because this is already something new. You can easily, so the point of the widgets is obviously you can easily get in contact with us, or with the company you desire via the website, using only the resources of the browser. And here we actually have the head office currently as a user. Before it was only user based. Currently everyone is in a meeting, as you know, Fridays, a lot of important meetings, as for example attending the webinar here. And now you can also actually implement a hotline, so to say, that you can call. So you on the one hand, you have here the sidebar look and feel, or you actually have here, you also can have here, if you know who you want to talk to, like as a card set or as a card set widget look, so to say. You have different ways how to get in contact with us. In that case, with Gabriel, you can either call him like an audio call, a video call, or now also new for all of our Gen Z people who are afraid of using the telephone and talking to people. Now you can also use the chat or via email, or as you might have actually noticed, this fourth button is also now available for a free configuration. Like you can put you freely configure a URL here. So in this case, as you can see, Max currently is not available, so I cannot call him or chat with him. So a very popular use case is, for example, to configure an online calendar here, and then you can just schedule a meeting. That with Max, so Max knows when you want to talk to him. Yeah, all of this is like very much. Sorry, I just need to. Lucas stays. So this is Lucas' client. Sorry. Okay. So now you can actually see that the presence is live and that it works. What I wanted to show you is that all of those ways how to get in contact are 100% integrated into myApps. So you don't need to install anything in addition to what you already have. So you get the phone call or the video call on your soft phone or on your phone app, or also the chat. Well, in this case, I guess I'm Benny. Or as you can see now, it just arrives on our myApps chat. So it is like very easily, you can just very easily go to your customer base and upgrade it and integrate it into the existing installation. So, I mean, this was already very convenient. Now it looks obviously a little bit cleaner. We have chat now. It is very pleasant to look at, but it has already, as I said, already existed before. But the main challenge was to integrate it into the website. That was always a little bit tricky. You needed to know like HTML and so on and so forth. But we actually now have a solution for that. See here, you can see now our chat. But I actually want to show you here our contact widgets app. So let's take a look at that. Here you can see at all the agents that at our widget that we just took a look at, all the agents that are configured here. Here we have also like a prioritization of, if Luca is obviously that's our go-to guy, but he is not available. The second in charge should be Gabriel, and so on and so forth. So here we can see we can easily configure the agents. For example, some people might not feel comfortable with a video call or with the chat, so we can turn it on and off. We can also give the presence, like always online, the Boolean object. As I said, especially if you have a hotline configured, you might want to have it. You might want to have also business hours configured here, and the nice thing is, you can do all of this very easily in this app. You just click on code. There is like 4 lines of HTML code. You can just copy that and integrate it into as many websites as you want. And then you will have those agents configured for those sites. Obviously, if you want to have a different set of agents or a different set of prioritizations, for example, for your English website or your in other foreign languages, you would need to create simply a new widget. All right, but now, you might think, oh, okay, but, my agents, workers might change and maybe even the layout of the website. So yeah, that's still like a lot of work. No, just like with the presence, for example, you actually have a live, I think, WebSocket connection to the site. So everything that we do, and in this case we want to add another agent. In this case, let's go with Holly. Is also immediately displayed on the website. We can even like do a little bit, change the layout, make it a little bit nicer.
Oh, now you're getting creative.
Yes. Just click save. Now we just take a look at it. Oh, and look how pretty it is now. So I might have actually chosen the right profession by not going into marketing. And we also added our agent. So very, very convenient.
Yeah, interesting combination, that brown and yellow.
So let's not take too close a look at it anymore, because that hurts a little bit. And rather look, so how can we actually get this app or this functionality, which I actually think is like the Connect app. First of all, very easily rolled out, and a lot of customers actually will have the demand for it. So the good news is, yeah, it actually doesn't even cost you anything. There is a freemium version of the website integration, but it comes with a little advertisement for us. If the customer or you, also as one of our partners, would like to actually have it as like a white labeling option or a more neutral option, we require a license per widget, which is just 100 euros per widget, not per user. And 15 euros SSC per year. Or, of course, you can also rent it out for, just €4.50 or 45 ISCs per month, or 67 out of the cloud. Oh, alrighty. You caught me in one, not lie, but I actually, one important information. The widgets don't cost you extra. But what it does require, if you want to have your little website, almost contact center installed, you need just once per installation, one port license and one UC license. Yeah. Just real quick, just not to have any misunderstandings of what a widget is. So I just showed you basically here your options between sidebar and the card widget, and then here the single configurations. And every time it's either the sidebar or the card widget, and every time basically you click here on a plus, it would be a new widget. Yeah. So as I said, if you want to have the white labeling option, and one for the German agents, so specifically German agents, and one for the English website, yes, it would require 2 widget licenses, so to say. But that is not the only new app or new. We also have other great functionalities. Ooh. Just got scared again. Here, we also have our new Notes app. That's basically very simple. It basically does what it says. Yeah. You can go here, choose the right color depending on the, okay, I'm really not doing well with the coloring here, with my color choices. So for example, you can do that here and then say, okay, shopping list, or rather, like meeting notes, and you can simply choose red, as I said, for something urgent, and then you can just create like some notes. The big advantage obviously is that before you probably wrote that down somewhere. You might have also sticky notes around your computer. Everyone knows a candidate around that. Now with myApps, it's always available, also in your home, home office, and also it is makes up for a cleaner desk, and also like for a more secure environment. We now just also as a little advertisement, we now as innovaphone, we are now ISO 27001 certified.
Yay!
For special security and secure working. So for this, we are actually not even allowed to have sticky notes hanging around anymore. So yeah, now you have all your notes always available in your safe environment. Simple but effective. A new and this is just a new feature that kind of a new part of your workspace that can also be done now in myApps. Then, as you can see, I love that you can create your own home screen, but now with all our new functionalities and features and apps, it gets also a little bit crowded, which is why we have actually created our new search app. And in this, we can look for contacts, for example, here. And it would, here on our marketing PBX, we don't really have a lot of different Benjamins, but might look different in our live installation. So here you can find the internal user or also the external one in the contacts API. And you can start immediately like a chat or a call, or you can also put it on the home screen out of the app. That is very convenient. But you cannot only look for contacts, but also, for example, for apps. Yeah. So for apps that you don't use maybe on an everyday basis, that you don't want to have on your home screen because it just gets too messy, you can simply look in search, and then you can either, yes, if you change your mind, put it on the home screen, or just start it right out of the search application. What is what I'm sorry, I need to make it smaller here. What I would always do is to actually fix the search app onto here on our low bar, so that you always have it available for a quick search. And this just makes for a even more productive working with myApps.
Absolutely. Sorry to interrupt you, Alex. Yeah. I was just being notified that some people were asking about the price and licensing of these apps, and we have good news.
Yeah, true.
They are free of charge.
Good for you. Yes.
The notes and the search app is completely free of charge. So please immediately download it and start playing around with it. Sorry.
No. That was thank you for interrupting me. This was very important news. Very good news, in fact. And then, speaking of free new amazing features, here we have the Techassist App. And what is the Techassist App? This is mainly, for administrators and for the technicians out there. This is very, very convenient. I have heard, because I'm not touching, I'm not allowed to touch any configurations, but here you can actually test your configuration, what you did, and see here the results. And if some of those tests, for example, fail, it is very easy. Just download the results and you can add it onto your Mantis case for our support. So it just makes out for a lot cleaner installations. It is a huge help for you, for our support, of course. The great thing is we already have some of those test setups. They're already pre-configured. Or you can also actually create your own test patterns. So this is you can also individualize it by your installation. And again, here it even tells you gives you already some hints. So this is also, talking about productivity, both for you and for our support and customer satisfaction with our installations. This will help us a lot. And of course, for sales purposes. So first, which is also now very nice, is that you can actually have an overview of all the licenses per user. So for example, here, Alexandre has reporting, chat, all of this, innovaphone working. Oh, I like him. Actually, I don't really have that much to add, but other users might actually need more licenses from a sales perspective, but at least, you can say who has already the licenses bound and configured. Yeah. So this is already for other news and great apps, but we also have several improvements and new features.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Alex. And yeah, that Techassist app sounds really cool. I think our support team will have a lot less work in the future due to these new apps and that improvement. Great. Other improvements, other new features, additional functionalities. What else have we included in version 14R1? Let's talk about the Softphone app for a second. There we had put a large focus on improving the usability. And especially, I think, people who are working either from home or on the road or traveling a lot, they have experienced the great advantages of our Softphone app on mobile devices. Especially myself personally, I have experienced the convenience and the cool features of the Softphone app in the past. Nevertheless, there was little room for improvement, especially for me, who was a really major user of the Softphone app on my mobile device. Every once I found out that with my fat fingers, here and there, sitting in the car, using the Softphone, of course, sitting in the car on the passenger seat, I have to mention, would never do that while driving. There was some room for improvement, which I think we have solved quite impressively. And if I talk about some of these improvements, I just want to point out that we have, compared to the past, changed the layouts between the Softphone app on a desk phone and the Softphone app on a smartphone device, especially due to the fact that smartphone users mainly use the smartphone with one hand. Therefore, with that one hand usage concept, it becomes a lot easier now with these new features and functionalities. And some of these new features include that we have increased the size of the dial pad or of the keypad. We have made the buttons bigger for people like me with fat fingers, so they can easier dial and press certain buttons. On top of that, we have also, for example, as you can see here in that screenshot, on the bottom right-hand side of the screen, we have switched those function keys to the bottom instead of the top. So once again, that will simplify the use of the Softphone app on your mobile device. And of course, a lot of other additional minor adjustments have been made to guarantee you a simple and efficient usage of our Softphone on the mobile device. If I can just have the keyboard here for a second, Alex, thank you very much. I want to point out one last thing. regarding the Softphone app for your mobile device. If you, within your myApps client, press on the upper right-hand side here on that burger menu, you have now this button called Get the App. And that also is a huge improvement, in my opinion, because back in the days, you could get the latest version of the myApps client and of the Softphone app within the App Store. There were always different versions. I always had to figure out what version I'm currently running on and what version to download. Could have happened that I might have downloaded the wrong version. That is now completely solved by this feature here. You just have to click on the Get the App symbol here, and then you will show a QR code for your Android or for your iPhone, iPad, or Mac device. And you can just easily activate your camera option, scan the QR code, and then immediately download the latest version that is the right version for you using your smartphone. So again, I can only encourage all of you, please, after the webinar, not right now. We still have a couple of really exciting news to share. Try it out and make sure that you have the latest version running so you will benefit from all these new additional features and functionalities. And yeah, that's quick overview of the latest features and developments regarding the Softphone app within version 14r1. But nevertheless, of course, we have also other new approved features with other applications, such as the voicemail app. If we have a look at the voicemail app, we also, again, put a large focus on improving the user friendliness or the usability of our voicemail app. And that includes, for example, that you're now able to call and view your own voicemail number. That is a screenshot of the current voicemail app. You also can view and change your own PIN directly within the app. As you can see here, and you can activate and deactivate call forwardings directly within the app, depending on your personal preference and requirements. Also, what has changed in the new voicemail app in version 14 is that you now can see the name resolution of a voicemail caller. In the past, you could primarily see a number here. Now we have changed that you're also able to see the full name of the person who has called you. And last but not least, also there's the option of automatically deleting voicemails after a predefined time period. So overall, lots of new great features and additional functionalities also within the voicemail app in version 14r1. Another app that has already existed before version 14, but at least in my countries, a lot of people have not actively used it, or maybe were also not aware of it, but is a really important application for you in the future, is our working app. And before I give you some updates about the highlights and improvements of the working app, I would like to just point out why we have developed this working app and why it is so crucial for you and especially for your customers, wherever you are in the EU currently. I'm going to read this from my magic card that I prepared for this webinar today, because I really want to bring this point across clearly. And I also experienced in the past month, when I was talking to my partners or when I was talking to potential end customers, most of them were not aware of that situation or that threat that is coming up in the near future. And therefore, I clearly want to state this here, that you understand the importance and the urgency of selling and using this working app in the near future. Okay, the ECJ, meaning the European Court of Justice, had ruled that EU member states must provide for a specific working time documentation system to ensure that all daily working time with employees would be recorded so that there is an objective, reliable, and accessible system for the individual employees. What does that mean for you or for any company within the EU? That clearly means that every single company within the EU has to provide their employees with a time tracking tool in order to make sure that all the time or working laws within each country are met, and that all these laws and all these employee requirements are being met. So again, this is something that will come, that has been decided by the European Court of Justice. It will come within the near future. And even if a lot of companies are currently maybe not aware of this, trust me, they will be sooner or later, and then they will need a solution for this. And the working app, again, is the perfect solution in order to make sure that you monitor the time and the hours of your employees. We have also done some improvements and some optimizations regarding that working app. And some of these new features include that we can now define the working times of each user more precisely, even down to the second. We can also adjust or set up an automatic start or stop function that can be configured for each device. Once you, for example, open the myApps platform, the working app will automatically start tracking your working hours and also automatically end once you finish or terminate the myApps client. On top of that, we have also other improvements like the ability to edit and correct working times at a later point. Also to activate various notifications within your working app. And again, this is a screenshot of some of the general settings that are available for you within the working app, where you can then set these settings for push notifications, etc. And to summarize it, please inform yourself when the deadline is in your country, and inform your customers that such a solution is not optional, but it really is needed and really has to be implemented sooner or later. And of course, you don't have to go anywhere else. You can just get it from us, from innovaphone directly. Now I'm going to transfer all the power again to Alex, who will give you a short introduction. Sorry, the mouse you also need regarding another new improvement.
Yeah, and again, today I am responsible for making all the technicians happy, so to say. So basically, we have a new AP app installer. Just real quick to show you. Here you can see obviously who all in the PBX manager, and it's just a quicker overview what has already been installed, but especially what is also available to you. So for example, not only from innovaphone, but from all of our app partners, you can basically quickly go to the respective apps. Always do that. Always try out some new apps also from our partners. Select a version and install. And together with that, what we also made a lot easier, or nicer actually, a lot nicer to use, is our app platform manager, as you can see here. For example, you can choose an app, and then it is like very easy to have a quick overview. You can stop it, you can uninstall it, and so on and so forth. You can activate some diagnostics if there is problems, or what I just like, simply because it comes flying in like very nicely. But you can even monitor the CPU usage. But talking about recordings,
yeah, my turn again. Thank you,
yes.
Alex. Of course, we have also done a lot of improvements and added new features and functionalities within our recordings solution here at innovaphone. And I just want to point out a couple of them. We have new config options for the admins that will now allow the administrator to block the deletion of recordings by users. In the past, every user of the recording solution was able to delete their own recordings whenever they felt and wished for. This is still possible, but on top of that, also can be blocked by the administrator. Another WebDAV authentication for record to URL has been implemented. And yeah, to be honest with you, I'm a sales guy, so for me that was Chinese at the beginning. Therefore, I asked my dear colleague Carl to explain a little bit about these two new features, including the hide recording URL in the Softphone. And simply put, what it does is it increases the security of our recording solution. Here, real quick, is a screenshot again that you can see where the administrator has the option to deny a user the possibility to delete recordings. And here you can see how to integrate the WebDAV authentication for record to URL, which is being done here, where the admin then has to create a username and a password, and also the possibility to hide the recording URL within the Softphone app. Again, major advantage with those additional features are that we are able to extremely increase the security of our recordings with that stuff. Reports. Also within the Reports app, we have put in a lot of work in order to optimize and to create new improvements and new features for you and for your customers. We have been working on the user interface, therefore have extended and also revamped the look of the user interface. Now you're able to add additional filters within the reports solution. And not only that, but you can also combine certain filters with each other. That also leads to the possibility that now the administrators can automatically retract or receive reports via email in different formats, whether it's via PDF, CSV, or XML, doesn't matter. All these reports can now be delivered via email. On top of that, the reports can be made anonymous, which is also quite important in certain user case scenarios and for certain customers of ours that have been actively requesting such a feature. Next to this, all these reports that are or can be created within the report solution of innovaphone can now be obtained from external applications, whether it's billing or a CRM application, via HTTP requests. And last but not least, of course, maybe some of you have been working with the Reports app in the past, have also noticed that within the user interface here, we have also added a new reports statistic that can be immediately shown within that user interface of the Reports app. Yeah, I give back to you, Alex.
Yes. Again, something a little bit more technical, but actually in this case for the end customer, so or for the end user, sorry. Yeah, the myApps plugin for virtual desktops. As you remember, in 13R3, we just, I think it was 13R3, we actually just presented a solution with the RCC Softphone app. However, now we actually made this good solution even better. So now you have simply a plugin that is basically that is installed locally, that then works as an audio device on that you can choose when you use the soft phone, and you only need to use the normal soft phone now when you're working on your virtual desktop. Yeah. This currently works for Microsoft desktop and Citrix, also for macOS. We are working on a solution also for Linux. Just give us a little bit more time here. Yes, currently it also only works for audio communication, but that's for most use cases already enough. But however, we're also taking a look at video communication. The most important thing is, first of all, it is easier to use because you only need to use the soft phone and not look for the RCC app here, and then if you use myApps on your cell phone, you want to use the soft phone and so on. So it's a lot easier to use. And you also have more functions like the third-party conference or audio recording, as you've heard, very secure, very well now, or even better now, in-call, and you have the in-call chat. So, yeah. Apart from that, yes, also a little bit more technical, but again, for the end user important. We also now, if you use myApps usually in your browser environment and not as a client, you are now also can be informed via web push notifications, even when the app tab is currently not in use. Yeah, we have established that already for the chat app and for the working app. That Tobias mentioned that you will get your updates and warnings and so on, so that you're always informed about that. And the important thing is, yes, of course, as always with innovaphone, you can activate or deactivate that if as you want. You have the flexibility. And what I also wanted to show you is for all the app developers here listening, you can use this functionality also for your apps and establish it now for your apps easily. Again, you can even integrate in this web push is not only for sending out informations, but it can also include like an action button, like, oh yeah, okay, understood, or okay, I will stop the working app now then if you tell me to. Yeah, almost last. Again, certificates. This is now a very technical topic, so please forgive me if I make it sound a little bit if I'm talking very basic about it. But as I understand it, with innovaphone, you can either have a certificate that is like a steady one that is very costly, or you actually need to renew, for security reasons, the certificate every year. Well, we now have a solution that automatically manages it, so you don't have to remember to renew it every year. So the security is there, but it's also for free because we use Let's Encrypt, which is a non-profit organization that basically provides certificates. Yeah, and we now have a connector for that. So a lot easier, safer, and cheaper as well. And regarding our talking about cheaper or potentially cheaper, our IPVA, our virtual appliance, is also now running on KVN QEMU and Proxmox environments. So yeah, try that out. This way, we become even more flexible regarding the environment that the end customer has in use, and also if you're hosting, you can also choose, and you have more flexibility in that. And yeah, also regarding the innovaphone virtual appliance, we have improved the performance. I cannot really tell you like how we did it, but I really like that graphic, like the 185% performance increase. So again, also you technicians out there, try it out, also for conferencing, and yeah. All right. Now
Great.
Sad news for you, Toby.
Oh, I don't know if it's so sad, maybe for some of you, but nevertheless, thank you, Alex. Lots of great new stuff. Wow, our development team has been busy, obviously, and I'm quite impressed with what we actually have done, and I'm sure we will continue to do so in the future in order to provide you with the best possible solution. Time to say goodbye. No, we're not going to say goodbye to you now. This webinar is still going to last, I think, another 5 minutes, but then you finally can go and hopefully enjoy your well-deserved weekend. But I have to mention some components or some applications that are end of support with version 14R1, and that's why I disagreed with you when you said sad, because I think it's actually great and exciting, because let's get rid of this old stuff, because we're not actually getting rid of it in that sense, but we have been able to show you an alternative or to show you an upgrade for those old features or solutions, like the myPBX is nowadays the myApps, and the widgets that was really complex to configure. You needed a web designer for it to do that on your website. Now it can be easily and much more efficiently be done with the widget app. So I think it's really time to let go of these old things, and therefore, we have a quick overview of some of the things that will be terminated and that do not receive any support anymore within version 14R1. I'm not going to go through all of this list. Just have a look at it yourself. Other no longer supported components here, especially a lot of it in version 10. But also the operator, for example, has been drastically improved and is now called the Switchboard app. So you're not really missing or throwing out anything. You're just improving and upgrading by making sure that all of your customers and also you should be on version 14R1, and hopefully that should give you another motivation or incentive to contact your customers. I actually hope you do not have a lot of customers that still are running on version 10 or 11, but nevertheless, there might be some exceptions. So please use that chance to inform your customers about the latest developments and highlights, especially in regards of version 14R1, and make sure that you upgrade them to the latest version, so they can not only increase their productivity, but also maybe have more fun working with the new stuff of innovaphone. Also, another highlight at the very end here now of our webinar I want to present to you, and that is something that hopefully most of you are already aware of. Nevertheless, let me just mention and promote this here again, and that is our Innovaphone Connect 2024. That is our Innovaphone in-house fair that we have organized for the first time. I believe it was 2 years ago here in Sindelfingen, right across our Innovaphone headquarters. And that was such a huge success, and we have received tremendous positive feedback from our partners, from our customers, basically from anyone who was there, that we have decided we want to do it again. And that's why we have decided to create or organize another innovaphone in-house fair called the Connect 2024, which will take place on June 13th in 2024 this year. Please make sure to register for our fair to come by. Just heard yesterday there are only a few hotel reservations for discounted pricings left, so be quick. Make sure to register to book your hotel. If you need any help or if you need any more information regarding our fair, visit our website, contact our lovely colleagues from our inside sales department who are always willing to help here. And I'm hoping to see as many of you as possible to recreate this magical atmosphere that we had 2 years ago. Of course, we will have different areas. We have different topics and themes. Let's start with the evening event where we have great catering. I hope it's the same one from 2 years ago, because that was very yummy and tasty. We have great drinks, great networking opportunities in the evening. And during the day, we will have workshops. We will have informative sessions. And of course, we will have lots and lots of our partners having an exhibitor booth within one of these halls to show you great, exciting new stuff, how they sell innovaphone, how they sell innovaphone together with some of their other solutions, how they position innovaphone within their specific vertical markets. So I believe it's a great opportunity for really everyone to come and educate yourself and have some fun. So again, use this opportunity, scan the QR code, and come by and join us for a great day of fun and sessions here in Sindelfingen, Germany.
Exactly.
Last but not least, maybe I will also want to point out a couple of more things. Sorry, but this is also important. Hey, subscribe to our newsletter. Follow us on LinkedIn. Have a look at our YouTube channels. There are a bunch of really cool videos where we inform you and our customers about the latest developments, the latest apps and integrations whatsoever. Use these different channels to stay on top of things and to always be informed about what's going on with innovaphone. So finally, I think that is really it. From my side, thank you very much, Alex, for joining me today. Thank you, Carl, for answering the questions in the background. Simon, great job again for setting everything up here, and all the other people who have been involved in doing the presentations, the translations, etc., and helping us creating this webinar. So thanks again. Enjoy your weekend, and see you next time.